All right, now, just as I promised, I'm getting back to, if I could find it here. Boy, I'm all over the place. Jeff Graham and his blog. Now, Jeff Graham, like many people have bloggers, I have a blogger for this radio show. Mayor Graham's view, and I think he has a play on words here. This is all to do with the political congressional race that we are in the midst of. If at any given time, and, you know, you read the recent article, Channel 7, claiming that we're in the middle of a depression and so forth. So obviously, when there's a big advertiser on the forefront out of their operation, when things are tough, more than likely you're going to see their ads and nobody else's. Well, there's obviously 3 big advertisers right now with Channel 7, and this is what keeps the establishment going. It's keeping the transmitter on, doing all the things that make sense, paying your bills, which is fine. Channel 7's been an institution operated out of Kenosha, Wisconsin for years and years and years. Very local. But now, being facetious, of course, now every break is virtually. Before it used to be just car ads for maybe 1 or 2 car ads. Now it's 3 candidates running for Congress. So this is the way, and I understand, don't get me wrong, I know that Didi Scarzafava and Bill Owens, and for that matter Hoffman, have gone from one civic organization to another, and they're doing their due diligence to get out there, but they're not doing it in the Glenn Curry old-fashioned way. What they are doing is the new electronic way. Allow your agency out down there in California, or for that matter in Madison Avenue, New York, to make all the decisions for you. It's somewhat embarrassing because even Didi Scarzafava admitted just last week that or 2 weeks ago, that she did not approve of some of the ads that her own Republican Party were running against her opponent. But that is that's just the tip of the iceberg to how a congressional race is operated. We here in the spacious 23 district are now embarked upon one of the biggest congressional races of our time. I sound like a broken record, and if I do, please tell me to shut the frig up. But man, I just somehow or other this rings a bell with me like none other. If somehow or other if I could just see someone running for assembly or the Senate, and that you wanted just to utilize TV like these people are, well, I think that would be ludicrous too. But for a Congress, and the first time for an opportunity to preserve this, of course, in the Republican way by putting up a strong battle, I think this would be a perfect opportunity for either DD or the Republicans to have one candidate that they can swear by and rally behind them. But it's so clear that at this point, with the message that Bill Owens is sending, a lawyer from Plattsburgh, a man who can see Vermont from his own front door, an outsider, certainly no one like us, I think this should razzle the troops, if you will, in that one. Jefferson County, believe it or not, as far as the 23rd District is concerned, is the largest center of population. So it's no surprise that they're spending a lot of money on our TV stations around here and the limited radio and other things that they're doing. But our own Mayor Jeff Graham says it very well. Now, whether or not he covered this on his own show, I don't know. But this, according to Old Media in Syracuse, does a nice job on candidate profiles. I'm not going to read through all this. But Jeff is an old-school type of guy. And he said, nice job by the Post-Standard on their intros of candidates for the New York 23rd. So they're basically focusing on different things. And you've seen little sound bites here and there. And I'm not suggesting that the only thing I pay attention to is Channel 7 News and whatnot. I understand that these people have other means. But at this point, it seems as if that's the only, I guess you could say, focal point of their campaigning. That is the decisions and the words written by others, and some better than others. But I love the fact that our own Mayor Jeff Graham is referring to Bill Owens as the guy that could see Burlington from his front porch. And again, I can go on and say Bill Owens is the nicest guy in the world. Maybe he is. Maybe his wife is hot, like Mayor Graham said yesterday. That's fine. Maybe he's a smart man. Maybe by signing off all those documents and bringing in as many as 2,000 jobs was his dual responsibility. I don't think it was. But at this point, I'm not finding out enough data about his own people. And that's our own Didi Scarzafava. Is it because the Republicans don't have any money? Is it because the Republicans don't have sharp-faced guys down there in Madison Avenue to come up with a nice-looking ad like Bill Owens has? Bill Owens out there with a farmer talking about the price of milk going up, showing a little graphics and animation while doing so, little comic relief. And we see a commercial with Didi Scarzafava where her face is hanging off the screen. Back in the day when Nelson Rockefeller granted a very liberal governor who came up here every summer with a big smile on his face and certainly with his eye on the ladies at the Jefferson County Fair. He was like a rock. He was a symbol back then of the whole conservative way that we had up here in the 60s, and certainly before that, right through the 70s and 80s. And now it seems as if all that has disappeared, and we've handed off our allegiance to other people to make the decisions for us. 755-1240. What's your opinion? I certainly would like to know. Let's go over the phones. Let's see if... Are the only people calling up East Maine, Duff, and a couple other people? Please, I ask you. So give me a shout about this and other things. Or, do me a favor. Tell me that you don't want to freaking listen to it anymore. Maybe this is the better way to do a campaign as opposed to the old days. I'd like to hear that, too. In the meantime, since everyone is very content with doing absolutely nothing and perhaps listening to sports radio, let's go over to a commercial break, and I'll be back in about 2 minutes. Don't go away. We'll be back right after this. Their state-of-the-art electronic...